for a very special day. This is a very special time. Show me a hill I can climb. Give me a mountain to move, and I'll prove that it's a very special day. I woke up early this morning with gloom on my head. Had a big feeling to climb back in bed. Then I looked in the mirror and somebody said, wake up, it's time for you to lose the blues, and this is a very special treat. Tell it to everyone you meet, that life is all for living and love is all for giving, so this is a very special day. Tell it to everyone along the way that this is a very special day. Up early this morning with gloom on my head. Had a big feeling to climb back in bed. Then I looked in the mirror and somebody said, wake up, it's time for you to lose the blues, and this is a very special treat. Tell it to everyone you meet, that life is all for living and love is all for giving, so this is a very special day. Tell it to everyone along the way that this is a very special day.
A very special day it is. It is a terrific Thursday. That means my partner, my co-host this morning is our Mayor, Justin Green. Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning. Good
Happy
morning.
Thursday.
Thursday it
a little
is.
chilly in the city of Salem here. What's
Well,
Mayor?
It's all relative. I like it. It's a little brisk, maybe a little cool, but hey, in a few hours it'll be great.
That's exactly right. Well, we're glad to have you with us. We do have from CAST, which we're going to find out all about, and not had anyone representative. You guys have been so busy, I know. I have Emily Gibson with us. Good morning, Emily.
Good morning.
Thanks
you
for
stopping
stopping by. I think this is your first time on Coffee Club.
It is.
Usually the first timers, right, Mayor? Don't they usually like break out in a song, a little bit of a? Isn't that right? Isn't that something like?
Song, dance. I thought they were going to bring refreshments.
Well,
maybe you didn't get the memo.
I did not get the
Okay,
memo.
I agree with
did
that,
not.
yeah.
You will not want me singing. I'll promise you that.
Well, we're glad to have you with us. Let's thank our sponsors this morning.
Please want to thank MetaView Healthcare, Walmart, Salem Crossing, Americans for Prosperity, Mama Roses, Fox Perlee Wealth Management, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, Dr. Mindy Gunn, Marshall Monuments, Springer and Springer Insurance, Schneck Hospital, and Temple and Temple.
Dave, thank you to our great sponsors. We're on to the 14th day of May. Isn't that crazy to think of that? We're getting sandwiched in the middle. It's insane.
Sure is.
This is Stars and Stripes Forever Day. I love that.
Oh, I love that.
How apropos on the... Oh, wait, hang on. We've been doing this. 250.
250.
Wait, now we've... 250. We've been saying it in America. Anyway.
Right.
250 years. Sorry, Mayor.
That's right.
Yes,
Stars and Stripes.
Yes, exactly.
Plays
right.
into
right.
it.
And celebrating the 250th year of the United States. So it's how apropos. This is also Dance Like a Chicken Day.
Oh, okay. Well,
I do want to say, because I do disc jockeying, and when I'm like, doing a wedding reception or a birthday party, that chicken dance gets people on the floor. People,
sure does.
People feel confident on that dance.
Mm-hmm. Spin around.
Pass.
Pass. Oh, I've seen you out there kicking up your heels
No,
on that.
well.
The chicken dance. Oh, the mayor's like, here, it's my favorite. You're playing my song.
I'm not sure you're recalling that correctly.
I have photos. No, just kidding.
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
You might.
No. Dance Like a Chicken Day. Let's see here. National Buttermilk Biscuit Day.
Okay.
Giddy up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it shows with gravy on it.
Now I could do that.
Me too. Biscuits and gravy. Underground America Day. Okay. So those are some holidays. Get out and enjoy. All right, we got a busy time, a lot going on. Mayor, let's real quick before we jump in with cast and everything, some updates on
Hey, a
things
lot of
going
things
on?
going on. And tomorrow, Friday,
Uh-huh.
we are doing graduation on the bricks.
Uh-huh.
So celebrating all the seniors that are making that accomplishment, and a high five, a congratulations, job well done. Very informal, 6 to 8 on the bricks. There on Market Street from the square to the High Street intersection where we were doing them last year. We're going to rinse and repeat. That's going to be the same location under the lights. We're going to come out, have tables and chairs, some very light refreshments. We're going to have some music.
Yeah.
We're going to have just a very nice social hour, if you will, from 6 to 8. Come and go. If you're so interested, wish the graduates well on a job well done, obviously, and just chat with them and see what their plans are, what they're doing moving forward. But just to recognize them, and it's all 3 schools. Would love to have them from West Washington, East Washington, obviously here at Salem. So that is tomorrow, and I believe your forecast reads pretty well.
Yeah, it's going to be nice.
So I think we're going to have a good evening. I don't think it's going to be too hot, and I believe the rain is at bay until Saturday. So it'll be a good evening there under the lights on the bricks. So graduation on the bricks. And that is our first event for the season, if you will. We've teed that up as the focal point, and then all through the summer, we're going to release next week the official schedule for the rest of the events.
I love it.
All the way through December. So I think we have somewhere around a total of 11, maybe 12. So we've got a full schedule to get all planned and put together. And again, these are free. Come and enjoy it. Family friendly. This is something that all the kiddos can come participate. Plenty of parking. The concept is get out of the house, do something different, get some fresh air, patronize some of the businesses, just do something different, and enjoy downtown Salem.
Yeah, I agree. And last year everybody wanted more. So you listen to everyone, and I appreciate that you've added like 12 different events or so, because everybody wanted more and they loved it. And we are so blessed to have that brick area there, and
It's
with the
very
lights.
nice.
It's
Yeah.
just
I
yeah.
love the lights. That
Yeah.
really does something.
It does, doesn't it?
It does.
Makes
and,
it, yeah.
And why not? It's as
Yeah.
the saying goes, low-hanging fruit. It's a good place to do it. Everybody really knows the Brick Street by the nickname. Market Street's the official name, but easy to find. Gosh, even some of the folks traveling out of town, when you say Brick Street, oh, I know where that is. And so easy to do, and so I'm glad to do it.
Right. And I think too, isn't it cool, Emily, like to go back to your senior year, to get to talk and sit down with the mayor, just informal, just, asking, how did you become mayor, or what, or just questions, or letting, the mayor kind of know what your visions are. I just think that's a cool.
It is. I think it's cool for the seniors to just feel celebrated.
Oh, yeah, you're right about
just
that.
to
There
feel
you go.
celebrated.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So I hope they come out. I hope everyone comes out, and I hope it's a big turnout, and I hope they ask the fun questions.
Right. Yeah. Not quite Jeopardy hard, but the fun questions.
All right, I love that.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, and so that's going to be Friday. Also, reminding everybody, Mark Carter has got a retirement party. I've been helping out or telling about that today from 4 to 6. So anyone that can stop by and have some light refreshments and wish him well too, and as a teacher, Emily, how important that is, just to also, we were talking about this yesterday, and I hope, Emily, I hope you, and I hope everybody under the umbrella of the school system, everybody feels that how valuable they are. It's hard because a lot of times and Mayor, you probably, we drive by the building, and you see the building, and we don't know what all's going on the inside, and there's so many great people, doing great things and giving of themselves.
Yes.
There's
There's a lot going on the inside. Very busy.
Yeah, and also everybody's got the countdown, and I'm sure the children are ready, chomping at the bit.
Got the fever.
The fever is hot.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
And okay, real quick, Mayor, one more thing. We're going Main Street there, South Main Street's really rocking and getting the sidewalks looks really good.
Certainly. We have expanded. We, the contractors, I should say, have went a little farther north this week, and so they're right at the south gate working. And so, I guess first and foremost, please be a little cautious. Always watch your speed, but as you leave the square, it is right there. Goodness, it will surprise you if you're not too attentive. But anyways, please watch your speed and give those workers plenty of space and be cautious. So they are there removing the old concrete there on either side in that first block. And so when you get close to those older buildings, it does go a little slower, and so to protect and obviously be mindful of the structures. So that concrete's being chiseled out, if you will, and the new forms being figured out. And so this is Thursday. I don't know that they'll get new concrete down in that area yet this week, but probably get it all formed up and be ready next week. So again, a lot of concrete. This project has a scope of work from the south gate of the square to the Blue River Bridge, and so yes, just a lot of concrete in that section. And this is just another example. Those are very wide sidewalks as the buildings were set and the pedestrian paths were, obviously figured out, and so those are very wide sidewalks in that area. And so it takes a lot of concrete, takes a lot of forms, and but it's shaping up. As you drive down that corridor, you really get a visual, and it's all going to be really nice. And the big thing is getting it in compliance, for ADA and getting those right grades and elevations, and that's a little tricky sometimes, and with older structures. And so it is moving along very well and is still on schedule. So that's the main message, I guess, is that it's going well.
Love that. Well, and it's exciting time for sure, and it's looking really good. So.
Good deal.
Onward ho.
Yep.
I got a little bit of information. We went to the Reds. Reds had an affiliate and went over there to Cincinnati yesterday. Had a beautiful time. Reds are always the best. And don't forget, I'll be sending some lucky families to the Reds game this spring, summer, when school gets out. More so, I'm sure more families will want to go. So check my Facebook page for ticket giveaway. Also, giving away this morning the Sonic Temple. It's kind of like your Bourbon and Beyond and your Louder Than Life. It's held over in Ohio.
Oh, yeah?
It's got several groups, and so I'm sending some families. I'll be giving away tickets for that. And it's this weekend.
Nice.
And then over in French Lick, Jefferson Starship, they are going to be performing at French Lick. I think tickets are almost sold out, but if you want to see if you can get tickets over there, and that'll be this coming Saturday. So that's going to be exciting too. So I'm excited about seeing them. I just interviewed them and talked with them, and they've got, they started singing some of their songs, and I kind of sung a little bit, so I feel like I'm kind of part of the group now.
Yes,
so
you
yeah,
are.
so
You are.
They've not sent me my VIP badge, on that, but
Right.
but I feel like I'm part of Jefferson.
Honorary.
Yeah, that's I'm somewhere in there. Yeah, yeah. But anyway, it's a fun interview. They're a fun group. So anyway, they're going to be bringing the fun. French Lick's got some great concerts lined up. So Jefferson Starship this coming Saturday. All right, now let's jump in. Emily, first of all, let's meet Emily and tell a little bit about what you do and everything.
So my name is Emily Gibson, and I have been with CAST for about a year now. Okay. I stepped into this role as program director when Cassie Summers Corp left us, sadly. She started this program about, I think it's 10 years ago, almost 10 or 11 years ago.
Yeah.
And when she had this vision for this program, obviously our mission is we want every child to have the ability to learn to read. We believe that every child can learn to read. And so that was what drove her at the time, and still drives us today. And so she started this when it was just a few kids. My son was one of them. It actually first started in the middle school kind of age range at Southern Hills Church, and then she moved in, and that's when my son got to be a part of it. Really heavy during those COVID years, right? When kids were out of school and weren't getting the full instruction that we had all planned for. So one-on-one tutoring, that's kind of what that looked like. And then it involved, just different people from the community and educators And we had originally started, like I said, at Southern Hills, and then we moved into Brady Shrum, East Washington, and now we are in West Washington as well. So all three county schools have received tutoring this year through CAST, which is huge.
Yeah.
We are solely grant funded and community funded, so we have to really work hard and be strategic about where our funds come from. That can be the challenging part. But we have been very blessed, even though there's been some sleepless nights of wondering how this is going to come together or work. It has. And so we are very thankful to the community for that, and just all of the people who have poured into CAST throughout the years. This year, and this is our third year doing it, we are getting ready to launch the Summer Learning Lab program. And so the last 3 years we've been a part of that. We received a grant to implement the Summer Learning Lab. And so what that looks like is we actually are going to be in all 3 county schools this year. The students will come and they will receive breakfast when they get there. And thank you to our great custodial cafeteria staff.
Oh,
yes, not
them.
Custodial. Our custodial staff does great too for us cleaning up our messes. But our cafeteria staffs at West Washington and Salem, East Washington, I'm sorry, and Salem, they are going to be feeding the Summer Learning Lab kids.
I'm so happy.
I know. Salem is actually going to be feeding West Washington students just to help out because staffing in the summer can be hard.
Sure.
So
I love that.
I know. I'm very thankful for that. That was kind of hard. The rules and regulations that come from the state sometimes aren't the easiest to do. It's like jumping through hoops, and they
gotta be creative.
You have to be creative, but we also are very much we play by the rules, and you know, we don't bend to rules. So
love that.
Just having to get creative and figure out how we can do it. And it was a challenge this year for every one of them, and I recognize that, and I appreciate what they did to be able to feed these kids. So I am so excited about this program because this program offers kids maybe who needed a little bit of extra support in this school year and maybe just need to continue that learning over the summer so they don't, stop for 8 weeks and lose wherever they were and what they worked so hard to get to at the end of the school year. So this program, it doesn't just specifically target students who are maybe having a little trouble, but it also can target students who need to be pushed a little bit. The curriculum that we use is called Lavinia Group, and in that curriculum, it is a lot of small group learning. So 7, 10, 12 kids in a group with one educator, and that is very much of a hands-on type of learning. So they get that little bit of a different aspect of things, and then it kind of starts to click. Or for our math, there's some different ways that they try to do multisensory things in a small group. And, when you're in a classroom, you don't necessarily get to do that. I do praise all of our teachers and know that they do small groups as much as they can and are great at it. I think that they have really, really figured out how to do small groups in today's world with education. But this summer learning program, it just gives the students some time to be able to take that a little bit further. For the last 2 years, our program here in Southern Indiana has been the highest scoring program in Indiana as far as growth.
Nice.
So that is something that we're very proud of. The students all take an assessment when they come in to kind of know where they are, and then at the end of the 22 days is how long it is, they take another assessment, and that is what measures their growth. So yeah, so we're proud of that.
As you should be.
Yes, and it's the educators with us, right? We have great teachers, a lot of great buy-in from all 3 county schools. All the principals are very supportive, and superintendents, they're all very supportive, and we couldn't do it without them. So I appreciate each one of them. This year we are going to try and get some people from the community to come in to the schools to talk to the kids and maybe do an experience with them, or just talk to them about what they do in the community, or what acts of service they, perform, or even just as if someone has a hobby. I'm looking for people just to come in, just to talk to the kids, just to get a little bit of a different aspect of, and to get knowledge of what goes on in our community. They have an hour of enrichment in the afternoon. I know. You too. You ready? You ready for this?
Me, I'm pointing at him. I was like, touche, Mayor, touche.
I know 2 volunteers.
Yeah.
Great.
If you would like to start your list.
I would love to.
Yeah.
I have a list, and I'm going to be reaching out. So
anytime I can talk about radio, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Emily, you tell them we're going to order pizza. We're going to be there
Right.
for a while. Okay.
Right.
It's going to be a late night.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited. I'm we're hoping we have about 200 seats that we can fill this summer.
Oh, wow. Really?
I'm so
Great.
proud of
Yes.
that. You on
Yes.
that. I'm so
this year we are actually adding a couple seats at a school, Southwestern, in Hanover, Indiana. They had reached out about having some seats, so we.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm. I've actually, since we started and we got our award, I've had 3 other schools reach out around the county, just educators from those schools, asking if they could be a part of it or if their students could come to our locations. And they can, but it is something that's very, enticing and great for the schools, because it's hard for the schools to put it on. And this is a grant that is formed for outside 501c3s to run, but it is also backed by the IDOE. So if we have those students, that test that I read test that the kids take now, and that has a lot of weight on it from the state, this program backs remediation for that.
love that.
Through the IDOE. So we're just very thankful and blessed to be able to offer this to the kids in our community. It's huge. It's huge for them.
Right. I'm so over the moon about it.
Right.
Yes.
And this starts almost after school.
It does. We are not wasting any time. It starts May 28th.
Oh gosh,
so our
really
teachers,
soon.
Yes, our teachers will go for training for 2 days. They have 2 full days of training, the 26th and 27th, and students will come the 28th and the 29th, and then it will go through June 26th.
Okay.
Yeah.
So approximately how many teachers do you have on board?
Total, I think I have almost 30 teachers.
30? Oh my
Mhm.
goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Now that speaks volumes.
Yes.
I mean, not to be rude, but like that, this is their, like,
this is their
summer.
This is their summer.
How wonderful.
I know.
Talk about.
And that's the thing that I try to be very respectful and make it fun for the students and also for the teachers. It's a different feel in the summer, right? It is a different feel. And this curriculum that we have is very strategic. It is planned out day by day by day, just almost exactly what to say, how to do it. And so that's a nice part of things. But obviously there's still the weight of being in there and teaching those students every day for 22 days. And so that's not taken,
not lightly.
No, I don't take that lightly at all, but I also don't take it for granted.
Right.
I'm so thankful for each of them, and I hope that every one of them know that.
Oh.
We have several support staff. The YMCA is partnering with us at Brady Shrum to offer before and after care. So just a lot of hats in the pot, and I just feel like that it's a community thing that we all come together, and I'm hoping to bring it more into a community thing for these community partners to come in and speak to the kids in our county. So
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, so going back to the 30 or so, teachers. So they do, what kind of training would they do? Like in a 2-day, like?
So they're going to do an online Zoom training with Lavinia Group.
Which would be, okay, like specifically what they're going to be teaching? Is that
Yes.
what, okay, well, that's what.
How to implement.
Okay.
How to go over the curriculum and how to implement. A lot of our teachers are returning teachers.
Okay.
That we've had in the last 2 years, and this will be our 3rd. We have a couple new, so that'll be good for them to have that training. And I did a leadership training last night, so it's just, they're very hands-on. This group is very hands-on of, making sure that we have everything that we need to implement the program how it's supposed to be implemented. So there's just a lot of support through them. We partner with the Mind Trust and have great support through them. That's a company in Indianapolis that helps run this grant, and great support through them. So it's just I just feel very supported in bringing this program off the ground, because it is a lot. There's a lot of thinking about stuff for 200 kids it's a lot.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, sure. Sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I love the idea actually of the training. If I was a teacher, that would also that would pep me up. Like that would
Mhm.
give me that spark,
that
like,
motivation.
the motivation, to have that. And I'm sure that, what that little extra training would kind of just bring it on home. I'm ready. I'm ready for
right.
the
Well,
time
and
now.
when you're at the end of the school year,
That's what I'm saying.
You're
need that.
done.
Yeah.
You're
no,
done.
Who wouldn't be,
and
right?
so
It's like the race,
the kids are done. You're
Sure.
just exhausted,
Right.
and so for them to recharge and
Mhm.
start back is huge, and they give it their all, and that's why we see the results that we see.
Mhm.
So,
I love it.
um,
Well, especially when you're with like-minded people, folks that like, I mean, everybody's there for the, for the
Mhm.
children and for learning and also just new ideas.
Yes.
There's always fresh ideas, and no generation, no children are going to be the same. You know what I mean?
Nope.
And how we teach, how we talk, how we,
Mhm.
how all the lessons. I mean, so I think that's fantastic. I love the whole idea of just a couple of days of training. Just kind of, I would appreciate that so much if I was
Yes.
a teacher. I would love that.
Last year they had to do it like online asynchronously, so that was kind of they had to do it on their own time, right?
Mhm,
And so that was kind of a little bit of a challenge. And I know everyone did it and did it well, but I just am excited for them to have that one-on-one in-person training.
Love
Even
that.
though it is through a Zoom link, it is still very much in person.
Sure.
It's
Sure.
very much, participation based, and it just goes through every part of the things that they're going to be implementing, and it breaks it down for them. So there's really I mean, there are gray areas and there will always be questions come
Sure.
up, but they have the resources for that to be able to, support them with that. Something else last year that we started offering, which is a huge thanks to the transportation departments at all 3 schools. Last year we offered transportation for students, and that was the biggest barrier that we realized that we unlocked. Our numbers grew last year from the first year we did it. I think we had like 40 something students. Last year we had 143. All my numbers are mixing up from everything
It's
we've
all
got
right.
going on now. We had over 150 students last year
Oh, wow.
at all 3 county schools.
Fantastic.
And then this year we were granted 200 seats. So we're hoping to climb that number to 200. We are very close. So I would encourage anyone that's thinking about it to sign up and get signed up, because you do have to claim seats. And
So how do they sign up?
so they can go to the website. It is actually posted on our Facebook page.
Okay.
But the website is it is apply.avella.org/Southeast SLL. So I would encourage, go to the CAST Facebook page. It is on there. It's actually on all 3 county schools' Facebook pages as well. But it is just a simple click of a form, a couple questions, fill it out, and that comes right to our database, and then they're signed up. So in the next coming weeks, we will be working with the transportation department to kind of map out our bus routes and things of that nature. This year is something we did have to do and implement. We had a little bit of a budget cut, as everyone has, right? And
look at us all in the room, everybody. Yeah.
No one's surprised by that. But we had to limit, and last year we had buses that were getting their kids that belong to their schools, right? This year we had to put a district restriction on it. So the kids can still go to their own county schools that they attend. But if they live in a different district, they have to be taken by their parent at this point, just because we can't have the buses
the gas
overlapping.
Yeah,
the gas
yeah,
is what's hurting us so
absolutely.
bad as far as transportation costs. So we're excited. We're so excited. It takes everybody, and I'm so thankful that everyone is cooperative and just backs us and just knows that this is such a great thing for the children in our community.
Let's go back. What ages are we talking about?
So this is rising first grade through at West Washington. So at West Washington they offer rising first through rising fifth. And at East Washington, we have seats open from rising first through rising ninth grade.
Oh.
And then at Southwestern, we just have rising second or rising third and fourth. So they're just.
And what was
focusing on
Salem?
two.
I'm sorry.
Salem is rising first through rising ninth grade.
Okay.
So a kindergartner
Oh,
going
wow.
into first grade could attend, and an eighth grader going into ninth
Freshman.
grader, all the way that span of.
That's
students.
fantastic. That's a great. That's a. Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And especially, I think, ideally, that's so valuable because, from middle school to high school is such a big jump.
it is.
And then also from elementary to middle school is a big jump.
Mhm.
But these are big leaps, and you don't want to, you want to make sure that you're tuned up, the best you can be by the time you hit high school.
And this curriculum really focuses on the standards that were taught
Yeah.
in the grade that they were in.
Mhm.
So say they were in first grade, it will really make sure that they have those standards covered, but also at the end of it starts to introduce the introductory things of what they will see in second grade. So that's
I
where
love
that's where we see their growth. It really focuses to make sure that they are really proficient in the standards that they saw in the grade before. But when it says rising, that is why it says rising, is so they can see those first little snippets of what they'll see come August.
That makes sense, and that's a great segue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love the idea, nobody likes testing, but I love the idea of testing because that's the biggest thing, the growth. That's what you want to see the most.
And it's a very laid back,
Yeah.
minimal test. I was actually looking over it last night. Very minimal. Just it's, a reading passage with some questions, with some phonics questions in it for those younger grades. The older grades, it talks more about, the text that they're reading and they're looking at and deciphering. And then when you get into the math, it's obviously the math standards, but it's not like a 20 question test. It's 4 or 5 in each section and then they're done. So it's nothing that they stress over or worry about. They don't even realize what they're doing, honestly, when we come in those first couple days and we're like, okay, we're going to take an assessment real quick. They don't realize what they're doing. And then at the end, they take one, and the growth that we've seen the last 2 years has just been phenomenal. And that's all to our educators that are doing this. So
it's probably why you've got recurring teachers.
Yes.
I mean, that.
Yes.
That would be.
It is rewarding. It's a great feeling to know that, my goodness, look at what these students were able to do. So,
and when I feel
confidence.
like teachers, when you're given, when you're given the gift to teach, and then using that gift, I mean, and that just, it's something very special.
Yes, it is.
So what's the time frame? Like, what time does this end? Like during the day? Like,
so
we'll have the rest of would they have the rest of the day to play?
No, so they come and they get breakfast from 8:30 to 9.
Okay.
And then from 9 to noon, they're instruction. So they have a reading block and a math block from 9 o'clock in the morning until noon. And then at noon, they'll do lunch and then recess. And then they have an enrichment time from 1 to 2. And then we'll start transportation and all that stuff at 2 o'clock.
So around 2 o'clock. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
You got the rest of the day.
Yeah.
I think that's wonderful for a child.
They can still have their summer, but also too, that's why I really want to bring people in to give them a sense of summer still, the taste of summer of fun.
Right.
It's different. That isn't something that we're able to do in a regular school day every day.
You're right.
And so for them to know that this is just a little bit more laid back than what, the morning is serious and we take that serious, but the afternoon, that's what it's meant for, is to do enrichment. We have, last year, some of the STEAM teachers came in and did some projects and things. So we have several people that pour into it, and we had Ben and Crystal Woods from the Brave Way Home. They're from New Albany. They make slime and sell it for their daughter that passed away from cancer. So we were part of that. Like last year, all the schools were a part of making slime to sell in their store. So that was really cool.
Talk about giving back.
That was
Oh
really
my
cool.
goodness.
And so we taught the kids, we're making this to sell, and we're making this for a ministry that's so important to them, and they did a great job with the kids, and so they will be back with us again this year. We're excited about that. So
I love
just
that.
fun things that we have planned, and hopefully that the kids will think this is really fun, and they did. We did take a survey of the kids last year, and they enjoy it. They enjoy it. better than sitting at home and
Well, and then, something, let's roll back years ago before cast. Maybe you'd hear, I'm bored.
right?
No, that doesn't go well with me.
Yeah, no, me either. I'm like, I have a toilet you can scrub if you're bored.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say, we got things. Yeah, my
I
girls
always
didn't
tell my
say
kids
that. Yeah,
Yep.
we got things to do.
Mhm.
So, I think this is just fantastic, and I hope everybody is listening to this and knowing the great things that are going on. I love this so much. But who actually is getting all of this curriculum together? Who's working on this? Who? See, that's what I was going to say. I think you're being very modest over there but did you catch that, Mayor? Day by day, I mean, having that outlined.
And ready to go for the students to participate. Yeah, that's
that's a special skill.
It's a lot.
It really is.
It's a lot. It has taken a lot to get it off the ground. But we are excited. We have, just the supplies and things. I had a couple board members from our board come in and help us a few days, one weekend, and then just to get everything organized for all of the different locations. So we have a site director, what we call a site director, at each school, and those site directors are going to come and pick up their supplies and take them to their schools. The Brady Shrum or Salem Community Schools was very kind and gave us a classroom that wasn't being used to host and hold all of our stuff this year. And so we've partnered with them, and we're so thankful that we have that space to open and to be able to spread out and get some things organized. So that has helped me a ton this spring, getting things going, and just getting it organized to be able to roll out the door in a couple weeks. I keep telling myself, in 2 weeks this will all be done and they'll be in their classrooms and it will be fine and I can sleep then. But no, it's a job, but I love to see it come together because I love to see what these kids walk away with in the summer.
Yeah.
And they still have a whole month of summer freedom.
Oh, absolutely.
That's right.
Sun up to sundown.
Yeah.
And so, they're not missing anything. I feel like they're gaining.
Oh, I love everybody. There's nothing to love, or nothing but love about this program.
Mhm.
This is fantastic. I just thank you guys. I think everyone involved, I think we just need to say thank you and of giving of your talents and giving of this is our future. These are our children.
Yes.
And what more, I mean, to invest and put back and give to them and make them the best they can be.
I know. And we do that. I do want to say when we're not working and focusing on summer school or summer learning lab, I have my age comes out when I say summer school. Summer learning lab.
So for anybody, real quick, Emily, I'm glad you said that though, actually, because for those, that's what it used to be called.
Yes, it was.
Okay,
yes,
and now we've changed
it's
the
summer
verbiage.
learning lab. Yes, and for those months that we're not focused on summer learning lab, we have so many tutors with us, and we've had great success in our tutoring as well. That from August this year, we tutored from September until right up at the week before spring break, because after spring break, that's ball season, and we lose the kids and the tutors get busy and things of that nature. So we tutored over 121 kids in our community this year.
Wow.
And so the growth we see there too is phenomenal. And that we obviously, and I've told them 100 times, I feel like a broken record when I say it, but we couldn't do it without the tutors. We could not do what we do for the kids in our community without the tutors. But most of all, we can't continue to do what we've done without the generous donors that we've had. So it's a community project.
Yeah.
It is a community ministry, and we get to see the benefits in the students when they come back to us and they say, look at this book that I've read. I read this book, or I got a good grade on this exam. And those are the stories that the teachers share and the tutors share, and those are the stories that keep you going.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah. So
I think it's fantastic. And let me roll back just for when CAST was first started. I remember Cassie Corp coming on, talking about it, and they were trying to figure out transportation because they would have it at the church, and it was kind of like that. It was just such a baby. so to speak, and
Was.
now now we're running.
I know. That's a funny, one of our board members, Kim Cyphers, actually said to me the other day, she was like, Cassie's baby is grown up,
Yeah.
it's grown up. And it is true. It is.
And done very well. Looking very
I'm
nice.
so proud of everything that she's done. And I've always joked and said, I will never be a Cassie because I don't know how she did it. But I'm an Emily, and we're doing it. So I'm trying to just move forward. And I also, it takes a lot of heart from the schools, for them to trust us and to let us come into their buildings and pour into their kids, and they're all very, very appreciative of us, and so we're just very appreciative of them.
Well, I think it's fantastic, and I think I believe when the seed was planted years ago, and then to see it just keep growing and growing, and I think now it's almost like I love the new ideas. I love, like, what can we do to make this even better? That was the thing. That was that we said you're doing a good job when you're always trying to reach for something better or bigger, and just trying to, and like expanding it, and going to these different schools, and then what a huge blessing for other schools to reach out to say we want to be a part, or we'd like to know more about this. Is that Emily? That's huge. That's the biggest compliment you can get, hon. Don't you feel?
I was so excited when I received that call. I received a call from a educator at Rock Creek Elementary, and she was so excited. You could just hear it in her voice, and so she had a student that was wanting to attend, and we just got to talking, and she was like, we need you here. I would love to love to talk with you more. So to me, that's just exciting that people are hearing about us, right? And they're hearing what great work that the educators are doing throughout the schools, and so our goal last year when we finished up summer school, because that's when I kind of jumped into the mix. It was a very quick transition. Chloe Gilstrap and Micah Gillum and I jumped in together.
Three beautiful pillars. Beautiful.
Yes. And so when we were approached with this, Cassie and I kind of took the summer learning thing, whereas I do the programming portion of it, and I told Cassie, I was like, I don't know that I can do this, and she was like, yes, you can. And so once I saw it, then it was easier. But when we finished and we, reflected of how the year went, one of the goals that I had set, and that I had set with our partners at the Mind Trust, was to expand into another school this year. Last year we had talked to Borden Henryville, and then actually Lawrence County, and theirs didn't pan out for some different reasons, but that was our goal this year. And so when I had Southwestern reach out and ask about bringing it to their school, I was like, okay, this is great. We will. So we met our goal, and next year, I think we see what we can add. And, we have a lot of connections that have started with the phone calls of parents and educators saying, we want to know more. So I'm excited to feed those after we get summer learning life off the ground. That's what I told him. I was like, we can't talk now, but
that's right. We will. Yes. We will pick up.
Yes.
I think that let me go back years ago before CAST was in our program. Either a family would have to pay an individual to tutor if they needed, if their child needed tutoring, or they would have to find a good dear friend, or themselves. I mean, those were your kind of your options. Those were your options you had. If your child needed a little extra, and we know that sometimes, and then maybe some didn't get that, and not putting any blame on anybody, just didn't have that option, or just wasn't able to do that. So I think this is such a need, and to pick up that. And I think that only makes sense that if you that little bit of additive, that extra flavor, that, and to help, our teachers, like you said, do a fantastic job. I think we got the best of the best. But I know as a teacher, I would welcome any extra, right? I, like as a parent, I always say, if there's one person that could add one thing to my child's life, just say one word that would be, encouraging, enriching, or just wisdom, please.
Well, and not every student learns the same.
Right.
And so maybe it takes another form of seeing it,
Mhm.
another way of seeing it for it to click. And I think I'm probably not going to name the statistic correctly, but a student has to see something, I think it's 15 or 17, hear or see something 15 or 17 times for it to stick in their memory.
Okay.
And so just different ways, multiple times of seeing it. And that's what we do in our tutoring. That's how our tutoring is based. We actually partner with the DII, the Dyslexia Institute of Indiana, and that's where our tutors get trained through for tutoring for the Orton Gillingham based reading program. So there is so much of that with the science of reading and just the way students learn, the way the brain works. And so that's where, like you said years ago, they didn't get that because if you needed tutoring, you had to drive out of county. And sometimes Louisville was the closest place. So to have this here rooted in our county, for me as a parent, was what brought me to love this program many years ago. Both of my children have taken advantage of it. I have one in the program right now, and just seeing him grow and watching him come along has been rewarding. So
Well, and it's so good for their self-esteem.
yes.
When they get it, when when that light bulb comes off or comes on and they get it, and they don't feel somewhat less than, maybe if they're struggling.
Absolutely. The confidence that it builds in children is worth every penny.
Yeah.
And to point out the obvious, but then that builds, year in and year out as they go through their school career, how much that benefits them.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, and I think at an early age, sometimes, this is what I've always heard, and I'm not an educator. I love education and support it. I don't claim to know what you know. I mean, I know you know a lot more than I know, but I will say, I always was under, the impression, like, just reading, if a child, is struggling and they don't get it, let's say early, then it's going to be a struggle throughout their school
life.
career, their life,
their
and on
life.
into their life. And that's why it's so important to get that, and then that confidence, and then, onward ho, then they can understand. But, like you go the foundation, like, reading, writing, and arithmetic, those things are just so important, foundation to lay before you start building,
Absolutely.
Right.
Yep.
And I think this is fantastic. And if they need that extra then here we are.
We're here. We are here, and that's the thing. We had a waiting list for tutoring this year.
I'm glad. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But
but that to me pulls up my heart because I'm like, oh, I want these kids off this waiting list. But
sure.
there's only so much that we can take on in a year. So we're just excited. We're growing, and just the more that people learn about us and hear about us.
And to that, remind us, and CAST is initials.
Creating avenues for student transformation.
There we go. I couldn't bring it to
Yes,
memory, and
yeah.
I kept thinking,
Yes.
and so CAST is all of that,
Yes.
and I think that's an important label to bring up.
I agree.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been able to.
Creating avenues for student transformations.
Perfect.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I love that.
Perfect.
I know CAST, but I couldn't remember exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's fantastic, and it's such a great program. And I think too, as a parent, it's a huge benefit and help for a parent. And I just pray that I've always loved the relationship between parents and teachers. I get in there and love those teachers. Get in there and know those teachers. Get in know, because they're with your children. Get in there and find out and talk. And how can you at home, maybe benefit, or when you go out, that was something the girls were little bitty, and anytime we'd go out, my dad would always he'd always say, I can't read the menu, can you read it to me? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, my dad could read the menu, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But he would make them read the menu to them, and just like things like that at home, little things like that.
Sure.
And just support the educators,
Exactly.
Support them
Absolutely.
and know that they are pouring everything that they have into these students, which is why when it comes May, that everyone's like, whoo,
Yeah.
Sure.
Sure.
The weather warms up and the kids are wanting to be outside, and so reeling them in for 22 more days is sometimes of a challenge, but we we do it, and the kids thrive in it. So
And as a teacher, when a parent walks up and, say, and I think that's something that, we as a community need to do more of, to say, you made such a difference, what a difference you made in his or her life, and sometimes they don't always hear that. We
right.
might think it, but I'm also a big believer in making sure you say it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And I think that's very valuable, and I think it's important, and that's something. The mayor's got a meeting. Bye, Mayor. So, but Emily, no, I think that we have got the top tier, teachers, but sometimes maybe we know it, we just don't put it to words, and
Right.
we need to,
Yes.
to think that, or
Yes.
thank them.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm very appreciative of every single educator that we have, not even on our team as a cast, but in all three county schools. I
Right.
know we see great things come from each of the county schools, and having the opportunity to work with the other two county schools. Obviously, I'm familiar with Salem, but to learn and to get to be a part of East Washington and West Washington has been a joy for me. I've been able to make connections with obviously people I know, but deeper connections, and
Right.
that to me I've really enjoyed. So
Right. Now, as far as the and hats off to the schools with the food. Do we
Yes.
not have the best of the best? Are they
Mhm.
not,
They are great. They are great. And those ladies, they serve the kids, and they're fed, and that's when we were trying to figure things out. I said, well, we have to, they have to eat,
Yeah.
but we want them to get an education too, and you can't do one or the other,
Right.
So when we were having to figure that out, they worked very hard and got things figured out, and so I'm very thankful for every one of them.
Right. Me too. I'm very grateful for them, and I think that we always hear years ago, you can't do math on a hungry, when you're hungry, when your
Mhm.
stomach's
That's
growling,
very true.
and so to have that, and then of course I'm gonna, I know this is off of just a little bit, but the food program through the summer,
Mhm.
rock stars they are.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And to have all that we
Yes.
have, such a blessing for families, and I hope families sign up and be a part of
I
that.
know. Me
'Cause
too.
I think that's wonderful.
Yes.
And I think that's something that we can do. That was something that, I feel like um, that that's one big factor for someone's life is to help out is feed, food. And then the other will start falling in place too,
Mhm.
the other.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what is the what I guess like so you're growing, so everything this year you're on you're right on schedule. I mean, and then the blessings that you were wanting, like as far as expanding and stuff, you're doing
Mhm.
that too. What
Mhm.
are some other things that I guess that you would like to see? Do you have any, like?
I would love to see, like, we have our annual fundraiser
Okay.
that this year we've always done driving for dyslexia, um, and so we are going to host that again. The Salem Speedway is going to host that again for us,
Okay.
and so I think that's October 3rd, I believe, and we're going to be at that race, and so that's a huge fundraiser for us. We would love to see it become even bigger, because when that becomes bigger, that's more students that we can serve.
Sure.
So we have that coming up. We would love to, think of ways, and maybe sit down with the schools, and just ask how they could be supported even more than what we're doing. So, there's always ideas and things floating around, but the expansion into another school system was huge for us.
Yeah, well, it is, yes.
And so we're hopeful to do that again next year, um, and just keep growing.
If someone does live out a little bit and it's not necessarily in the pickup realm, they can bring their child, right? And then
Yes, they
and then
can. Yeah. So
drop
we
off
had a
and pick up.
family reach out from Scottsburg, and like I said, from Rock Creek, and
Yeah.
they have not yet signed up, but they are very much interested in bringing their child. So
Oh, I
it's
think that's
just
fantastic.
yeah.
Yeah,
The
that's
Summer Learning Lab program is more prevalent in Indianapolis and northern Indiana. So we are actually the only option in southern Indiana.
Okay.
That's why we're called the Southeast portion of the state for Summer Learning Lab. And so when you get up in Indianapolis, there's multiple organizations and schools that offer this. Actually, I think the Boys and Girls Club in Madison has a few seats that they offer for this program, but we are the only ones that have this program in Southern Indiana. So that speaks too. I mean,
Yeah.
in such a rural community, those needs are prevalent down here as well as they are in, Indianapolis and
Oh,
northern
absolutely.
Indiana. So
Well, and I always say, and I think our school systems do such a great job. I don't think you can, up north, they might be a little, they maybe, they do a great job, but but we do a great job. And I don't think if you put the two students, one from up north and one from down here, I don't think you could tell a difference. I think that's
Right.
one thing we have really strived to do,
yes.
that our students and our children get everything, that their toolbox is completely full too.
I feel that way too. I feel like we're very high achieving
Yes.
in all that we do. So
But I feel like our community is like very driven children and education, and I think that's something we need to be proud of.
I do too. I think that's something that could be said to any of the schools and repeated multiple times.
Yeah.
Just be very proud.
Absolutely.
So.
And I think too that and to make sure that and I think givers too. We have a lot of givers like volunteers, and you're talking 30 teachers that could
right. Be home with their kids for the summer
exactly.
or grandkids. Yep.
Or just or sleep in.
Right.
How refreshing. What an idea.
Yes. So.
And but they're going to be hitting the ground. I love it. And so what we're looking now today is we're looking for different people that would like to come in and maybe do, and how long, like maybe do a 10-minute talk, or
we have an hour time frame is what we have allowed.
Okay.
So 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour, whatever, we can figure out the other part of it. But yes, we're looking for community.
I love that too. I think that's
volunteers of, I've spoke to someone at a bank about coming in and talking about saving money and, things of that nature. I'm hopeful to reach out to like the fire department, the police department, the sheriff's department, and kind of, it's going to take multiple people with having 3 county schools to reach, but I'm confident that we can get someone in there at least a couple days a week for them, and I'm going to tell the kids, bring a field trip to them, bring something to them. So.
Well, it's also teaching them about their community.
Yes.
And different members, and sometimes they don't know everybody,
No. And my goal is if one child hears something from a community member about a profession that they are in, and that sparks an interest for what they want to do 15 years down the road, then that will be, rewarding. Just one child. Because you think about these students who may not be able to get to, the bank and sit down and have a conversation, or know what someone does, or the radio station, or, these kids who can't have, and not every kid, you don't have kids in here every day, so they don't get to do those things. So in order to bring those businesses to them, I think that would be something that, just to talk about careers and things that they can do when they complete their education. So
I love it. I love that. It's hard to compete with the policemen and the firemen, though.
I know.
I'm telling you what. Well, the firemen
they
got the truck and the ladder.
The
I mean, the policemen. Yeah, I know. It's like, yeah, they're gonna steal the show every time.
They are.
Yeah. Who doesn't want to be a policeman or a fireman, right?
I know.
So no, anyway, but no, I think it's great, and I think all walks of life, and I think as a community, that's something we can do. What part can we play in this? Well, at least we can support it financially, but also let's give of our time, which is very valuable and very important and a great time. But also, I feel like anybody that does give of their time, you're going to be more rewarded than it's going to be more exciting to see the children and see them light up and ask the fun questions.
Yes.
That was a thing. It's fun to hear the different students and what they're thinking and the questions. Because as interviewing, I love to hear the children ask questions, because they come up with some of the best questions.
The mouth of babes. The children
Isn't it
have
true?
the mouth of babes.
It's so much fun.
Yes.
Emily, I'm so proud of you, and Chloe and Micah, you guys are rock stars, all 3 of you. And I know, I hope Cassie hears this, and I hope she tunes in, because we'll have it, she can go back and listen if she's not catching it right now. And I know she's got to be extremely proud of you guys. And, you know, so many times, you know, things, you know, maybe get dropped, and this did not been dropped. This has been, you know, this is actually, you're hitting you got the touchdown. Keep going. And
I told her, I said, I promise I'll do my best. And
well, you are.
You know, I just know how important it was what she did for so long and what she created. You know, she created, this is her baby. So we're happy to feed it and watch it grow. So
yes, I think it's really running now.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, keep up the great work, Emily Gibson. And again, how can someone, if you're listening, if you have a grandchild, if you're an aunt, uncle, or whatever, you know, any children that you know in this area?
So you can go to the CAST Facebook page, which is just CAST Washington County, and the links are there, just a simple link to click as well. And then I know all of the schools have posted our flyer on their Facebook pages as well. So either one of those options, or you know, they can always reach out and you know, CAST. We have a CAST website, castwashingtonwashco.org. So multiple different, I'm sure if anybody gets on social media, they're going to see it. We've been trying to really push it so, you know, the word gets out and things of that nature. So
great job. And let's get all of that, let's get it all filled up. You know, maybe next time you come, you know, you'll be like, we had 500 students. Emily, don't you love that thought?
I do. Well, I mean, last year we had several seats that we had to release because we had big plans for Lawrenceburg and Borden Henryville. So I think people are hearing about it more, and they're very intrigued. So I would love to see our seats double.
I love it too. Yeah, just keep growing bigger, get bigger and bigger. Love that. Well, and I'll do my part. If anybody, you know, if you're having any trouble finding it, we'll get right to Emily, get you there. And thanks for coming in this morning.
Yes, thanks
for
having me.
Let's not be a stranger. Keep us in the know. Okay,
Yes.
come back and visit. Let us know. I
We'll
appreciate you. Coming in this morning.
I appreciate you having me very much.
All right, I want to thank our sponsors. Could I grab that list from you, Emily? Want to thank our sponsors this morning: Meadowview Healthcare Center, Walmart, Salem Crossing, Americans for Prosperity, Mama Rosa's Restaurant, Fox Pearly Wealth Management, Dr. Mindy Gunn, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, Marshall Monuments, Springer & Springer Insurance, Schneck Medical Hospital, and Temple & Temple. All right, Emily, let's have the best day ever, okay?
Yes, you too. Thank you.
Available at Washington County Tire Shop in Salem. Subject to credit approval, restrictions apply. See BridgestoneRewards.com for details.
Big or small, we service all. Du Bois County Tire.
Your Louisville Bats are offering up an unbeatable entertainment daily double this week. Friday night, $1 Miller Lite and Coors Light up to first pitch, then $3 up to the 8th inning. Enjoy $6 frozen margaritas, too. Saturday is Star Wars night, featuring Ahsoka Tano-themed jerseys along with appearances from your favorite Star Wars characters. And post-game, stay and enjoy the Star Wars-themed drone show. For tickets to enjoy your hometown Louisville Bats all this week at Louisville Slugger Field, it's BatsBaseball.com.
33 of the fiercest drivers will compete on the greatest race course in the world.
You just tell that car is fast. You see rockets towards 3.
It's time for NTT IndyCar Series qualifying for the 110th running of the Indianapolis 500.
Hello, working its way now bottom of the racetrack through turn number 4.
Four-lap average 231.800. Live May 16th and 17th on this Indianapolis Motor Speedway Radio Network station.
Bourbon and Beyond is back. The world's largest music, spirits, and culinary experience returns to the heart of Louisville, Kentucky, featuring Foo Fighters, Mumford & Sons, Chris Stapleton, Dave Matthews Band, Queens of the Stone Age, Casey Musgraves, plus Red Clay Strays, Hootie and the Blowfish, The War on Drugs, Foster the People, Jason Isbell in the 400 unit, Counting Crows, Jesse Wells, Jesse Murph, Goose, and so many more. Bourbon and Beyond returns to Kentucky Expo Center September 24th through 27th with access to the thrills of Kentucky Kingdom Theme Park. Don't miss the best 4 days of the year, blending world-class music, food, bourbon, and more. Passes are on sale now at bourbonandbeyond.com.
When it comes to getting the job done right, From driveways to bridge work and paving to construction and excavating, there's one name you can count on: Temple & Temple Excavating. Serving homeowners and also handling big jobs for city, county, and state highway projects, they've built a reputation on quality work since 1948. Driveways, construction, demolition. If you need it moved, cleared, built, or torn down, call Temple & Temple Excavating at 812-883-6644. Temple & Temple have been supporting Washington County for 77 years, one project at a time. Call Temple & Temple today at 812-883-6644 or find them online at templeandtemple.com, where you can also apply for job opportunities.
Louder Than Life, North America's loudest and largest rock and metal festival, returns to Louisville this September with My Chemical Romance. Iron Maiden. Tool. Limp Bizkit. Plus Pantera, Pierce the Veil, Gojira, Papa Roach, Sublime, Danny Elfman, The Prodigy.
Anybody ready for a new hour? Let's go! From the big fast studios, coming to you from the real world. Everybody ready? Making sense of it all. The voice of reason. Are you ready? Who's ready? Are you ready? Somebody say I'm ready. Are you ready? Brand new hour, brand new show. Greg out, Speedy Adler and Burge in as we continue to move forward. Today, Speedy and I will head to the Kevin Derryberry Classic. Get a chance to speak to the golfers today that are helping raise money for the Kevin Derryberry Ministries. We'll see all of you there. Also, don't forget, if you want to see Kevin perform, actually this weekend, he'll also have an album release party coming up down in Columbiana, beautiful part of Alabama, there at the theater. And you can be part of that, too, by going to kevinderryberry.com. All the details are there. It will be Sunday the 17th at 4 p.m. So looking forward to spending some time with Kevin today.
Yeah.
He's also going to be on the Are You Ready tour, taking over keyboards for the world's greatest garage band, Mr. Lucky.
And that is what I'm going to talk to him about.
Can't wait.
I haven't seen him face to face in a minute, so I'm going to go. Let me sit you down.
Mm-hmm.
You have played for a lot and done a lot, and you probably have seen it all, but you hadn't seen this.
Nope.
And are you prepared to be in the mix with not only the Burgess Boys and Ryan Greenwood, but one Eddie Van Adler?
Adler and Derryberry are in for something.
They are.
Looking back at the various drummers over the years, looking back at Mark Phillips, who's now in the presence of our Lord. Mark Phillips was very successful in music, and he said his run with Mr. Lucky was a career highlight.
Highlight of his career.
I don't know what he meant by that, but
Yeah.
he just kept saying it. Maybe the word memorable was used.
Speaking of which, I went and was editing the show for the day after Greenwood was here that day.
Right.
And he jumped on guitar and I jumped on drums and Greg jumped on the mouth bass.
Yes, he did.
He did.
So all that was going on, and I was in the drums, and all I could hear was Greenwood's guitar.
And
I could just see Greg, go, which I knew. I was like, this is hilarious. I'm going to have to go check this out later. I didn't know you jumped in and sang vocals.
Oh, you didn't know that?
I couldn't even hear.
Little bit.
Yes, and I couldn't even hear those vocals. I went back and listened to it, and we were all on. Like, it worked out great. I didn't even know you were singing.
Not
you did?
bad.
I was like, we're a real band.
Look at us.
But I was very impressed with how well it worked, considering we all couldn't really hear it all. We don't even need to practice for this tour coming up, guys.
Okay.
Let's just get up there and wing it and just rock.
Follow me, guys.
It was funny. I was actually talking yesterday with the production team and tour manager, and I was, the people doing production are like, we'd like to see what set you're going to do at some point so we can marry effects and lights and the screens and all that to it, and of course explosions and fog. And I said, well, you might want to wait to later in the summer, because the first couple of rehearsals will be like, no, what chord is that?
Yeah.
Okay, Greg's going to find his bass. Kevin's going to be like, okay, what are these songs? And you don't want to be there for that.
No. So you're saying they need to wait till y'all are actually ready.
Trying to find out if I can sing them in the original key.
Yeah.
Or I'm start begging for relief from the band. So I said, wait till we get it down, and now we're just running through it, and we know how we're going to do it. Then come in later in the summer.
Yes.
So rehearsals look like they may start in June. Okay, so all right, so
Getting ready.
I might have to come video some of that.
Well, look, let me tell you something. You may not have a huge role with the band, Speedy, but you the show's not just the band.
Well, I know, yeah, it's just part of it.
You got a lot to deal with.
Yeah,
We're going to be on stage playing Ride Again with Greg, Gary, Green. I mean, you're going to be dealing not just with Greenwood, Kate's,
Andy, everybody.
Oh, yeah, sure. We got listeners coming in off stage, getting up there trying to play.
Oh, it's organized chaos.
It's going to be great.
Which is our best.
Sure. A parking lot password. Suddenly you're out in the audience.
Ooh.
Yeah. So it's going to be a blast. So if you don't have your tickets, get those. And don't forget the code RBS20 right now on the remaining reserved seats to get 20% off.
Put the code in before you get to the checkout.
So pick tickets, code, checkout.
Yep. In that order.
Okay. Thank you, Ticketmaster, for not complicating that. All right. So let's look at the China trip. Hey, we're in China right now.
Oh, yeah.
We come here to see Mr. Trump. So anyway,
all right.
President Xi, isn't that how we say it?
Yes.
Xi, rolling out the red carpet for Trump. Going to talk trade. Taiwan tensions. Going to talk about that.
Yep.
And
talking about smog. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's just Beijing.
That's just there.
We'll start with one, and then we'll do the same. What do you have ready? One or the thing Speedy sent you?
I got one ready, but we can do whatever.
No, let's do one.
Okay.
So here is Trump.
Let's do one.
Sorry. Let's do number one. But anyway, so he's...
Greg does number two.
So he is... he said he did not bring more politicians. He brought powerful business leaders with him on Air Force One. Here he is clarifying. Here we go.
So I really look very much forward to our discussion. It's a big discussion. There are those that say this is maybe the biggest summit ever. They can never remember anything like it. I can say in the United States, people aren't talking about anything else. But it's an honor to be with you. It's an honor to be your friend. And the relationship between China and the USA is going to be better than ever before. Thank you very much. Thank you.
So there he is. Of course, with Trump, it has to be the biggest summit ever.
It is ever, Rick.
And it's all anybody in America is talking about. I would slightly disagree with Trump. We are still talking about our conflict in Iran and the fact that gas prices are through the roof. We are talking about that.
That's being talked about.
We are.
I think we may be talking about that even more than the China summit. But we'll see. So yes, he is there. He's got businessmen. We're talking about. These men are hungry to do business, invest, create, and I'm all about us getting a better business relationship with China and not being their chumps anymore. And I'm all about that.
Yes, absolutely. And I thought he was going to say this in the clip. He went on to say, I didn't bring second in command here. I didn't bring the vice president. I brought myself. Also, I brought the number one person from each empire, which really, truly is. He brought Jensen Huang from NVIDIA, the chip manufacturer.
Got to have the chip people there.
One of the largest companies in the history
of
mankind.
Got a lot of chip business.
Yep. Tim Cook from Apple, also on the trip. Elon Musk, also on the trip. And other titans as well. Trump said the best in the world are here, right here in front of you. The message is clear. America's not here to beg. It's coming to bring global innovation together, and it will be reciprocal, is what he said. As it was a way to kind of, I scratch your back, you
Let's
scratch
look for
mine.
a win-win.
Yeah.
Let's look, by the way, it was not reported, but I did see it. I don't know why everybody's not talking about it. Tim Cook was quoted with this quote, "Where's Speedy?"
Shout out to Speedy.
Right.
Glad to be here.
Right.
Does that make you feel better?
It really does. The thing I'm sick about, I hope that my baby brother just heard that.
Yeah, because he's laughing.
Because I would love for him to have been here right now.
Papa, why are you laughing,
And
Papa?
I'm also a little bit hurt that Casio Kid's on the air right now and didn't hear it.
Yeah,
right.
Because
he loves that.
Adler just kind of set that one up for me.
He did.
Thank you, buddy.
All right, here's CBS.
This was a kind of a Ryan Greenwood moment.
And
I believe
if Speedy had been there, he could have rescued the cameraman.
I want you to. So CBS News is reporting live from Beijing, and Smog looks good behind him. Taiwan. I'm sorry. And he's there. They're doing a live shot, and all of a sudden you're going to hear. And that's the cameraman.
Oh, you can hear it.
That's the cameraman going down.
Oh, where were you when they needed you?
And they say he's okay now. I don't know if it was a Ryan Greenwood. He passed out. Obviously he did, but they claim it was a medical emergency.
Traveling around the world's rough on you. Traveling around the world's rough on you. You got to hydrate. You got to be careful what kind of pants you wear.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
So the cameraman behind the camera is going to have a problem.
All you're going to do is just hear what's going on, and Tony, the anchor, the reporter.